Now we have discussion about short questions, which is important for the examination point of view, as well as to build the concept. So here, like we have skin depth, define the skin depth, or sometimes maybe on the basis of skin depth, you'll get the numerical. So that we are going to see what is this. So skin depth is defined as the depth at which what is happening here, wave is going to penetrate. So like in case of when we'll talk about propagation, so that we have attenuation factors alpha, so that wave is going to be attenuated by the e to the power minus alpha t. So finally, here in this situation, we have that is the skin depth del equal to 1 by alpha, or it also can be written as 1 by root under pi f mu epsilon. This is not epsilon, sigma. Okay, pi f mu sigma. So this can be the sometimes numerical on the basis of this, or simply question like define skin depth. So you should write the definition as well as you should write the expression here. Next question is about define polarization and write its types. So we have to define what are the various types of the polarization and what are its types, and you can draw the diagram also if time is there. So polarization is a property of transverse wave which specifies the geometric orientation of the oscillations when wave is going to propagate, how they are going to take the oscillation in which directions, how that orientation is going to take. So finally, on the basis of orientation, we have three different types of the polarization, like we have linear polarization, elliptical polarization, circular polarization. In case of linear polarization, what you see here that E2 is this is the on the same y-axis, and this side we have minus E2. Both will have same magnitude. Whereas in case of elliptical polarization here, this is going to be the value of E1 here, and E1 will not be equal to E2. Whereas in case of circular polarization, it is the another case when E2 is going to become equal to E1. So like this, we have three different types of the polarization here. Apart from this, we have we have horizontal polarization, vertical polarization, all different types are there. Next question is about transmission coefficient. Define transmission coefficient. So when wave is going to propagate, so in that case, that plane of wave is going to move from one medium to another medium, then transmission will take place. So that coefficient you need to define here. So transmission coefficient, which is represented by the tau, and it is the ratio of magnitude of the transmitted wave and incident wave. And in terms of that intrinsic impedance of medium 2 and medium 1, we can write 2 eta 2 by eta 2 plus eta 1. Or in general expression, what we have, ETO equal to eta into EIO. And before that, we have another concept, that is the reflection coefficient. So that is the capital gamma. So we have relation 1 plus gamma equal to tau. That is 1 plus reflection coefficient equal to the transmission coefficient. Okay. But here they're asking only about the transmission coefficient. So you have to write this definition in the word as well as write the expression. You'll get the complete marks. Next question is define critical angle. So this question you are knowing from the school days also. And here also we are going to define what is the critical angle. So that critical angle is the angle of the incidence for which total internal reflection is going to occur. That means that transmitted angle is going to be equal to the 90 degree. And by using Snell's law, we know that n1 sine theta I equal to n2 sine theta t. So finally, if you rearrange that, theta I will become theta c. So in that situation, we have sine theta c equal to n2 by n1. Since theta t become the 90 degrees, so sine 90 value is what? 1. Okay. So finally, critical angle equal to sine inverse n2 by n1, where n2 and n1 is the refractive index of the concern or respective medium. Next question is define Poynting theorem. So Poynting theorem and Poynting vector both are always important. So this question, if you have to derive, then it will become the long question. Poynting theorem says that the net power flowing out of the given volume is equal to the time rate of decrease in the energy which is stored within the volume V minus ohmic loss. So here you can represent with the help of diagram also. So this power is going to in the particular volume, and this is the power out. So that finally here we have, it is being stored in the form of that electrical energy and magnetic energy, apart from we have ohmic loss. So that the time rate of decrease of energy within the particular volume minus ohmic loss is going to be the net power which is coming out from the system. If suppose you're able to remember, then you can write this expression also. So this shows that Poynting theorem. And another question, maybe they will ask you about Poynting vectors. So it is the E cross H. Okay, that is the Weber per meter square. That is called as the Poynting vector. So this is both are important, Poynting theorem as well as Poynting vector. Next question is define Huygens principle. So this principle, you see that how one wavefront is going to generate the another wavefronts. That is the principle of the Huygens. So every point on wavefront has capability to generate the secondary wavefronts that spread out in which forward direction at the speed of wave itself. So same thing here. This is the primary wavefront, that is the source, and it is going to generate the second wavefront. And again, in the another example also, here we have a circular type wavefront. It's going to generate the another wavefronts. So Huygens principle says one wavefront can generate the secondary wavefronts in the forward direction. That is the Huygens principle. You can draw the diagram also, as well as you can write the definition. Depends upon it is generally 1 mark question means you can write the definition. 2 mark question you have to write the we have to draw the diagram also. Next we have defined VSWR. What is the VSWR? What is the full form also? That also we need to know. Okay. So that is the voltage standing wave ratio. Now we'll define. Okay. Simply if you're writing the full form of that, you are not going to get the marks. What is the actual expression that we need to write? So generally standing wave ratio is the ratio of, if you talk about the voltage, then it will be the ratio of maximum voltage by minimum voltage. So that will be called as the VSWR. If you have in terms of current, then we'll write I max by I minimum. And again, for the better understanding, you can write in terms of reflection coefficient, that is 1 plus modulus of the reflection coefficient divided by 1 minus modulus of the reflection coefficient. Just you have to write in the word, like for the VSWR, it is the ratio of maximum voltage and minimum voltage. After that, if you are able to remember, you can write in terms of reflection coefficient. Next question is draw any two types of transmission line. So what is the transmission line that you know? And we have what are the various ways, what are the types that we have to write. And if possible you want, you can draw the diagram. Question itself is the draw. So we must have to write, then draw it. We have various types of the transmission line, like we have twisted pair and coaxial line cables. Then we have two wire lines. Then we have planar line and wire above the conducting plane. And fifth one is the microstrip lines. So they're asking to draw only two. So we can draw easily about coaxial line and two wire line. So in the coaxial wire, this inner radius is A. Okay, outer radius in of outer circular part, that inner radius is B, and outer radius of that is C. Finally that thickness will become B minus C. Whereas in case of two wire line, diameter is taken as the 2A for the fourth wire. Name itself is the two wire, so we have two wire. So these two you can draw, coaxial line and the two wire, by writing the types, and name and diagram is both are important. Next question is about define voltage reflection coefficient. So don't get confused about the standing wave ratio. This is talking about this voltage reflection coefficient that we need to define here. Okay. So it is the ratio of reflected voltage wave to that incident wave at any point on the line. So that reflection coefficient at load we are trying to define, so that gamma suffix L for the load, and this capital gamma is for the reflection coefficient. That reflected wave direction is changing, so we have B0 minus e to the power gamma L. So this is the small gamma, and divide by B0 plus e to the power minus gamma L. So that small gamma is what here? Alpha plus J beta. Okay, so like this much only you have to write in the word and write the expression. That will give the better impression. Now question is draw transmission parameters in transmission line. Okay, so what are the transmission parameters? Like we have R, L, G, C, all are per meters. Okay, so that we have to draw the transmission line. In that we need to represent. So here you need to draw this diagram where two wire transmission line is drawn here, and inside the transmission line, okay, inside that wire we have series connection of R and L, where R is the resistance per meter, L is the inductance per meter, okay, and in between two wires we have another two parameters that is connected again in the parallel. Here it is in series, here in parallel, that is the G and C. One is the capacitor per meter, and that is capacitance per meter, and G is the conductance per meter. So like this, first you can define R, L, and GC, how it is the per meter. Then you can draw this diagram, okay, and write the series and parallel, how connection is there clearly, okay. Like this, you can get the marks. So here we have a discussion about all these important 10 questions. Those are very, very important for the last 2.5 units, and it is repeatedly being asked in the external exam, even in the internal exam. And still, if you didn't subscribe our channel, subscribe, share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.